What do you do when you come home from work and you are stuck doing everything while your spouse sits around? Well, today my husband is joining me and we're going to talk about how we solve that problem. I'm Tiffany of The Self-Motivated Child, and sitting here with me today is my husband Kyle. And we're going to talk about how we balance the workload at home so that one of us isn't stuck or in charge of doing the bulk of household tasks. Kyle, you want to start first of how we did this?
Sure. So early on when we had children, we ran into the situation that, most couples I think run into where typically the wife, not always, but typically the wife is the one taking care of the children, doing dinner, doing household chores, and that situation was no different. On the flip side, right, I'm going to work every day. I'm working long hours. I'm exhausted when I get home. The last thing I want to do is get nagged at. So we needed to come up with some kind of a compromise. So the way that we approached it is that each of us have a day job. My day job and her day job. And the roles can be reversed. It doesn't matter who is the one who goes to work, or maybe both of you go to work. But in our situation, I went to work every day and I would come home in the evening right around dinner time like usual. And my wife, when our children were growing up, would be the homemaker. She was a stay-at-home mom, and that was her job. And so once we clearly defined those roles, that my job, I go away to work, her job is she stays home and takes care of the kids. We both have our day jobs. When I come home, now it's both of us splitting the responsibilities for all of the household chores for the rest of the day. That includes taking care of the kids, that includes letting out the dog, making dinner. And so when we approached it like that, where each of us have our day jobs, but then in the evening, we both are tired. We both want to have a break, but we can't because we have responsibilities. And so at that point, we shared responsibilities, and we, flip-flopped, and we each did our own thing. And Tiffany, you can explain some of the things that we did that might be helpful.
Right. So in the evening, I was tired from having kids all day. I needed that little bit of break. And he often wanted to spend time with our kids because he hadn't seen them all day. So in most cases, not all, I took on the role of doing dinner prep and all of the things associated with dinner, while my husband then took on the role with helping kids get a bath done and get closer to our bedtime routine. As my load lightened, I would come and assist if he needed things with the kids, and vice versa. He would come and say, do you need me to set the table? What other help do you need? And so we balanced that way. We also thought about the tasks that needed to be done in the home. And we found that we both preferred certain roles. I am a little bit OCD, and I like our laundry folded just so. And so I wanted to have the role of laundry. And my husband typically did the role of a lot of the yard work, cutting the grass and everything. And so those are both things that needed to be done with the home, that we found those balances of those jobs. So let's talk about when I went back to work.
Well, I mean, it's really no different, right? Each of you have a day job. Whether you stay home or you go to work, still all the stuff at home needs to get done. For the spouses out there that are the ones that go to work, if the other spouse stays home, just make sure that you're putting yourself in the other person's position. And that goes for both spouses. You need to put yourself in your spouse's position and understand what their perspective is. In this case, my wife, she was feeling like all she did all day long was take care of the babies, do the food, do all the stuff that needed to be done at home, and she was tired of it. She was tired of doing all the mom stuff all day long. So when I came home, as is often the case from people that we've talked to and friends of ours, she's done. She's like, here you go, here's the baby. Thanks. I'm going to go lay down. So, that doesn't work, right? Because, if you're coming home from work, you're tired too. Your spouse doesn't know what kind of a day you've had. Maybe you've had a crappy day. Maybe it was exhausting. Maybe you were, inundated by meetings. Maybe you were working your butt off all day long and you're totally tired. Whatever the case may be, stuff at the home still needs to get done. And I find that if you put yourself in your spouse's, shoes and think about it from their perspective, you both get a better understanding of, where they're coming from. And then you're able to figure out, okay, who's going to do what, and actually divide and conquer. It makes it easier for everybody. Everybody is less stressed. The workload is decreased, and both of you feel like you're contributing fairly.
Right. We would have it was a fluid conversation. When I started working, it was easier for my husband then to go to the grocery store. It was next to his work. So he would go to the grocery store more often. But if he had a busier night, he would say, I need you to go this week. And then some sports he would take the kids to, and other ones I would take the kids to. So again, it's that finding the fluidness of your schedule, of being able to collaborate with each other, empathize with each other, know where the other is coming from, and talk it out how you're both going to balance these tasks that need to get done. So make sure you check back next week, because we're going to do a couple of little mini sessions of my husband and I talking about how we handle things as a couple. If you like what you have seen so far, be sure to subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, follow me on Facebook at Tiffany Bakke.